or up to 0. Can you see the count on your end? Like on me, it's right above your head. It says live, 16 seconds, 4 viewers.
All I see is the time. I don't see the viewers.
Oh, I didn't know what it showed the co-hosts, but there are people watching.
Oh,
Uh,
I just got an email saying I'm live on my own channel.
oh, nice. Caleb has checked in. I'll see him in like a week and a half, I believe.
Hello, sir.
All right. So Colt Manny, I was supposed to see him in a week and a half, but he got a case of the gay and will not be in Paducah. Tom Hollaby, hello, sir. Crystal Fox, the best moderator of these live chats.
And she's going to pull double duty tonight because she doesn't have any backup.
Yeah, well, I mean, most of the time she doesn't have any backup anyway.
It's true. I don't usually show up because I forget about the live. I almost forgot about this one. I was downstairs and I had to set a calendar invite to remind me of your live chats, and I'm
Nice.
sitting downstairs enjoying a little cup of coffee, and I'm like, oh shit,
I gotta go get my shit together.
Yeah, I ran upstairs. It was like I had to set my camera all back up and stuff.
You mean you don't walk around with a laptop in your hand and take it out to your kitchen when the audio's cutting out?
I mean, I could have done that.
Which also didn't help him, but whatever. Hopefully Zach is watching, or he watches this later and sees me poking fun at him. But today's live chat is brought to you all by Defiant Munitions.
Oh, I have some of that around here.
Makers of the new, I don't know, it's chrome. It doesn't want to, you know what? I can do this. So I figure out where my mouse is. Makers of the TCX 380.
Oh,
finally making 380 worth kind of carrying.
Now, I know we didn't really talk about this, but do you feel like a defensive ammo as like high quality as Pete's would make a 380 a fighting gun?
Well,
or is it still in the category of it's still better to carry a 9?
It's still way better to carry a 9. And I say that because 380 guns aren't as reliable as 9s. I don't know if it's because it's such a short round, like that extra millimeter of length that they cut off is a problem with it, but I don't see 380s that run like a 9 does as far as reliability. Although, like ballistic wise, terminal ballistic wise, Pete's 380 is the first one that does anything I'm interested in. I used to carry Lehigh Defense,
Extreme penetrators.
Yes, with the little Phillips head screwdriver front.
Yep.
And because they penetrated like Full Metal Jacket. And there's like a bunch of stuff about temporary cavities being this big, and I don't know if that's true, but I do know at the price that they charge, I feel confident that it's loaded with some level of quality assurance. So it was like the best FMJ on the market. And for 380, if you shoot it into gel and it doesn't go 12 inches, don't carry it. Yeah. So the only thing in 380 that would go 12 inches was FMJs, and Lehigh Defense was the best FMJ on the market. But the stuff that Pete just came out with, I don't know what I did with the little round that I was pulled out of gel. That got 13 inches. So it met the threshold the same as Full Metal Jackets did, and it opened up. So, I mean, he did work some fucking magic.
I like Tom's logic though. He's once you run out of Pete's ammo, you're still with all the shitty 380.
Yep. Well, I will say this: when I carry a 380, which is not nowadays often, when I worked in a school, it was every day because I carried it deep concealment, and the 6 rounds that were in the LCP were the only 6 rounds I brought. Like there was a 6-round fight, no matter what bullets were in it. I'm thinking about maybe speaking of deep concealment and that 380 in Del Rio in November, October, I don't know, whenever the Fall Del Rio classes, maybe doing a concealed carry for scofflaws seminar when I'm out
Oh,
there for that.
that's one of my favorite classes.
I enjoy it.
I also enjoy finding things that you hide on yourself like months later.
Months later, yes, yes. So for those of you who haven't had that seminar, I stash a bunch of shit on myself and come in and like teach the seminar. And at some point, as we talk about different things, I start taking these things out of my hidden spots, and some of them get left there for a long time, and then we're doing something, and Mike's like, "I know where you still have a razor blade on you." What? Sure enough,
He didn't
he
even know
finds it.
he
I'm
had
like, oh yeah. I forgot that was there. And that razor blade, the one I'm talking about, which we're not going to give out over there, it has made a number of flights. Like it went through TSA with no issues, a bunch, because I forgot about it.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Crystal on the links already.
Oh, nice, nice.
Collections Del Rio.
Yeah, yeah. Scott Wexler, hello, sir. Crystal says she also loves concealed carry for scofflaws. It is popular. It is just not. I always get folks like, "Hey, why don't you do that like as an online thing?" And that's not anything I want a digital copy of floating around.
We got Max in here and Scott and Adam. Man, this is like all my favorite people.
Yeah.
I think I saw Shinde in there too.
Yep. I say and read. It's like all the favorite people and read.
And Reed. Oh, yeah, wish you could have joined Zach at the Ed class. I assume you mean Ed Calderon, Scott?
There is the delay. He'll get to us.
Yeah. RJ Bermudez.
He made it in. Probably my favorite dude in New Jersey.
I mean, it's a toss up between him, Tim Nudd, and Joe Rajewski.
I can't forget about Pistilli, Joe Pistilli.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, there's a couple of them still over there. Fuckers.
We keep trying to pull them over to to freedom.
They're just, I don't know.
It's doable, guys.
They're anchored in there.
I promise. It's doable.
Yeah, no matter what they do for a living over there, we have that over here too.
And you know where else they have it? Montana.
They do indeed. There was a cat from Jersey, and I was when I was in Tennessee, which we'll come back to that topic in a minute, who said, "Yeah, I can't get out of Jersey." I'm like, "Why not?" He's like, well, "I got a job." I'm like, "Oh, well, what do you do?" He says, "Well, I'm a butcher." Motherfucker, you don't think we eat meat in Pennsylvania? Like, we need a butcher? We probably eat more meat. But it baffled me.
Yeah.
Scott says he needs a scofflaw class. I was going to set one up for like January at Rock God, and I got the okay. Like Rock God was like, "Fucking, we're in," and I dropped the ball.
While we're talking about New Jersey, though,
oh yeah,
so I mean that's a big thing in my life that I don't think we've gotten to talk about on the live chat. I got my New Jersey permit, my permit to license to carry a handgun. Forget whatever it is. Permit
whatever
to carry.
They call it.
Yeah. You know that video has over 10,000 views right now.
Damn, dude. And that was the main purpose of you coming on tonight, was to let us know how Bulletin is doing. Like, how is it thriving? And apparently the social media aspect is fucking banging.
Yeah, apparently, like, using those 15 years of like visual communications experience to like put videos together and lighting and camera work and all that stuff, and having coherent thoughts on camera, which I'm still working on that one. apparently it's working pretty well. So, like, business wise, we haven't done a lot with Bulletin, and things have been a little bit delayed because of some other initiatives. Mainly the YouTube channel has been the one where that's been sucking a lot of time, like all the time.
You've heard me bitch about it since we've been friends.
It's true.
I hate fucking videos, and they suck up all of your life.
Yeah, and now I can at least also say that I have dozens of followers on YouTube.
Yes, you can. And you at least had the advantage when you're like, I'm going to make some videos. You understood like the principles of how Adobe makes their software.
Mm-hmm.
I watch YouTube videos about how to use Premiere every time I make a video. There'll be just something I'm like, man, I've done that before, but I don't remember how. And go search. Oh, yep, that's how I do it. So you should be pumping out way more videos than I am, which isn't that hard at this moment because I haven't done a lot. I know in some moment here, Adam's going to say, you owe me a video on Z-Bolt lights. And I mean, I'll give you the cliff notes right now. If you don't need the Surefire Pro mount, which I think is the best mount system of any flashlight, buy a Z-Bolt light. If you want the Pro mount, buy the Surefire, buy the Z-Bolt head, and then tail cap as needed. You know, if you want a momentary, you can go with Ariska or Z-Bolt. And if you want one with a remote port and a tail cap, you can do Z-Bolt or Surefire, and I like the Z-Bolt better.
I haven't even mounted my Z-Bolt yet.
I have 2 of my 3 mounted. The one I don't have that I'm not using is the one that's just the remote port. Because I have one gun with a tape switch, and I want the dual port. So when the tape switch gets ripped out because I'm an ass and crash through things because I'm a klutz, and I want to be able to reach up and still hit the button.
Oh, I'm like all blurry.
Oh,
that's weird.
So much for them fucking graphic design, artistic. Did you breathe heavy on your camera?
It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
We can't give Zach all the shit now.
There you are.
Oh, all right.
What camera are you using?
My Canon 6D Mark II.
You got it on like facial recognition focus. It should have just.
Yeah, well, I think what happened was I leaned in to like try and adjust the setting, and then it wigged out.
I notice on mine, which is a lower end than yours, when I get real close, the autofocus takes a lot longer to adjust.
Yeah.
Versus a little further away. And today I'm doing something different. Maybe 30 inches away from the camera, and like I just moved. The camera's still in the same spot. I just moved my table and all the lighting forward in this room, just to give me like a little more depth on the footage. So we're a little more portrait-like, out of focus in the back, and thought I'd try something different. And of course, then I wore a black fucking hat, which is just terrible.
Yeah, which is causing shadows now on your forehead.
Yeah. And like if I don't wear a hat, my hair always looks stupid. And I don't have a fucking a light so my hair doesn't blend into the wall.
Yeah, you need a hair light.
I guess I could do that.
Yeah, one of the only black bulletin hats, adjustable black bulletin hats in existence.
Yeah.
Made. Oh, my camera's wigging out again. That's weird.
Yeah, I even when we went out in the woods last week, I even sprayed a bug spray on it so that the sun would start to fade it, so we could actually see the logo on it a little better. But there wasn't really a lot of sun, and then we cheated and drove half of the trip anyway. So
yeah, we were lazy.
Well, we were breaking the law, so like the lazy was. Some people might say that was the primary reason for driving, and that breaking the law was just a coincidence. But I don't believe in coincidence. We went to break the law and had to be lazy to do it.
Yeah. I mean, if we weren't lazy, we would have just not been breaking the law at all.
Right, because we're allowed to walk there. We just weren't allowed to drive there.
Yeah. And like, I don't think anybody would have cared that we drove there anyway.
No, because I did that on the road we went in on the week before, drove in and got caught, and nobody cared.
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
All right. I haven't been reading the comments. Mike, I think your background was beautifully in focus, is what Max said.
Oh, yeah, I was out of focus and the background looked awesome.
I've met too many SF plug buttons to switch to the Z-Volt with the crane plug. It's too expensive. Yes, if all your tape switches have a surefire plug on the end, then I wouldn't switch either. But the only tape switch I have has a crane plug on the end, so it works on a laser or a Z-Bolt. This is my my Fred Durst look. Should have got a red hat. Put it on backwards. Beavis and Butthead breaking the law, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, there. Caught up on those comments. Nothing else needed to be addressed. So what was we're checking on how Bulletin was doing.
Yes.
The YouTube is picking up. Not as much on Rumble, obviously, because Rumble doesn't have as much traction as YouTube does.
True.
But like what I've been doing is I just cross post everything in both places, and then when I share the link on the Rumble link, but if people are YouTube bound, I leave the video there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of traffic on that New Jersey carry permit video. A few of the others, but the shorts, that seems to be the way to really kind of like get some traffic going.
Oh yeah, YouTube loves shorts and like Instagram reels and anything they can do to compete with TikTok.
Yeah,
that's their scheme.
And the Instagram shorts or reels or whatever they are.
Instagram, that's the one I look at the most, but I try to post on it kind of regularly, like in my story, but not my story, on my feed, because you got your feed, your story, and you can do reels. I'm like, you guys, I'm not putting that much effort into it.
Right.
I don't make no money off of Instagram.
Yeah.
It really just gives me an excuse to take pictures of shit.
True. It's so crazy though, like being a one-man shop, and I know how you feel on this too, is like, man, I have a hard time keeping up with doing all the stuff, like,
yep.
When I started doing the YouTube, I like my Instagram and all the other social media posts went straight downhill. Like, I still post stuff, but like it's like once a week. Because it just takes so much time to make videos of stuff.
Oh, fucking videos. And when people are like, why don't you make more videos? Motherfucker, why don't you make some videos?
Yeah. Although I've been very like a huge compliment and a bit of an ego boost. I've had several other YouTube personalities reach out, dudes in the gun world, and ask me like, "Hey man, how do you do your production stuff?" Because like I want my videos to look more like your videos. I'm like, thanks. Yeah, like I'll share whatever information I possibly can, because like I'm stupid when it comes to this. Like I'm just starting. But yeah, that was a huge compliment from dudes like and I hope he doesn't mind me calling him out here. Max and I have been chatting a bunch, and he's got a successful YouTube channel. He's been doing this for like 3 years, and like, he has some great content, and like, I guess I just get the flashiness, like, learning to like being a graphic designer. I could just make it look good. Who cares what it sounds like? Yeah, just make it look pretty.
What we were talking yesterday on the way back when I was coming back from New Jersey without a New Jersey carry permit, but with a gun. Surprise. But Mike and I were chatting, and I said something about what did I say? Fuck. I totally lost my train of thought thinking about that conversation. talking about videos looking good and shit. I literally, this is it. This is dementia kicking in right now. Fucking call me Joe Biden. Oh, we're chatting about
You
shit.
start telling stories about Sparky and the old days playing basketball in Scranton.
Yeah, I've been in Scranton. I've been on that Joe Biden fucking highway.
Me too.
Yeah, I saw the sign on the way up to the shoot house there at Roll Call
Mm-hmm.
at the
I,
Joe
I was
Biden.
driving under it one day. I'm like, when the hell did they do that?
I remember reading about it like back when he was campaigning, and I went, "That can't be real." And then when I drove under it, I was like, "Son of a bitch, it is."
There's a question in here. Hey, Mike, how many hours did you spend on that New Jersey Carry video? A lot. Like, probably 20 plus hours. Like, but that's also not like this because I'm terrible in front of the camera. Like, this is, I don't know how I could be so different between here and I have faces to talk to and like I could just converse versus like if you put me in a room alone with this stupid thing in front of me, this giant, demonic lens that stares deep into my soul. Like, it's just a mirror into all of my insecurities.
Damn.
Yeah. It just shows me everything that I hate about myself on camera. So it's great. Like, I've changed the way I speak already in the last 3 weeks of trying to eliminate ums and ahs and
Oh, dude, you have a whole different voice in your videos than you do like today on the live chat.
Yeah.
It seems like you've polished the vocal cords right before you hit film.
Yeah. Well, I didn't necessarily intend for us to chat about videos and how to make YouTube videos throughout this whole thing, but like, I think that's a fun. It's just so interesting because now I get to see a little bit more into insights of like what you've been doing the last like 5 years, 4 years that I've known you.
Yeah.
Like, I just thought of those as like Gary's gonna go do one of his little projects.
Yep. And instead, now you can say he's pulling his hair out somewhere and hates
Yeah.
everything the whole day. And he hates the whole day.
Well, that's not. I mean, that's really anything with you.
Well, yeah, because if I'm not doing videos, my wife will ask me to do electrical work in the house, like I did on Sunday, where we found evidence of a fire inside one of the receptacles that didn't work, and it was good stuff. But it's either videos or housework, so I guess videos aren't that bad.
Yeah. Oh, I'll take that any day of the week. Like here's the thing, like, so most people probably know this. Like I've been out of work, which is why Bulletin got so much effort and attention over the last like 4 or 5 months. Um, and I've loved every second of it. I've learned how to do like video editing. I've learned how to do live streaming and video production and shit, even some audio production. I've learned how to fly drones to take videos and stuff. Like I love it. I would if it paid anything, I would love to do this. Instead, it has only cost me money, lots and lots of like at a time when I really shouldn't be doing that, but it's an investment.
All right, Mike, we got a question, and I can't even see what we're looking at because I'm over here trying to find your YouTube channel. And there it is.
Yes, Gary Ernest. I did learn how to crash drones too.
All right, Uncle Guns. Well, I thought that would let me paste, and it that was weird. Copy. There is Mike's YouTube channel.
Oh, Crystal beat you to it like by 30 seconds.
I know, but I wasn't giving up once I fucking went over there.
Yeah, you were decisive.
Not quitting now. Well, actually, I mean, it's a shame that you broke your drone.
It is a shame.
Oh, we can even see it.
Oh yeah.
But the advantage is, on a selfish note, we have a study group this weekend that Mike was going to miss because he was going to go take a class on flying drones. And now he gets to come to study group.
This hurts. You know that scene like in Short Circuit where Johnny Five is like he's got the guy's all beat up and his eye is hanging out of its socket and like he's all busted up. Yeah, that's what happened to Soundwave. I had named my drone.
Oh. Well, that would have been a good Instagram picture. Busted up drone.
Didn't even think of it. Accepting donations for drone replacements.
Well, we'll crowdsource this.
I'm contemplating crowdsourcing once I get better at flying drones, crowdsourcing a thermal drone, which that is the hotness right there.
That'll be sweet.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I could turn that into like actual like constructive type things in the commercial world. But having a thermal drone at my disposal to go do fun stuff with sounds awesome.
I've already got plans for it. You just need to have it and not crash it.
Yeah. Max, I did not order it orange. It just came that way. But yes, it is. There is an advantage of it to the like white ones. I don't know why they make white drones. You can't see that shit in the sky. Like you need to be able to see them.
Unless you don't want people to see your drone.
Well, that's fair. Yeah.
All right. So what's the next video you got coming out? What are you working on?
Well, I started writing up. It's probably not one that's going to be super exciting for most people, because the videos that I actually wound up wanting to create are ones for like new shooters. Like that to me, that is like primary goal number one of the Bulletin YouTube channel is like providing information to new students before they come to like your class, Gary, or to Zach's class, or to anybody's class. It's like, you know, it's kind of like why we made that radio class together. It's like, what are all the things that I need to know before I go to these other classes?
Yeah.
And a lot of trainers take care of that stuff. You have a ton of videos on your channel that take care of that stuff. But I wanted to try and create a channel that's like known as being the new student resource.
I like it. I would much rather you do those and me link to your playlist than me have to make any more of those.
Yeah. So I've already started a playlist of student essentials. I'm gonna have a student essentials playlist. It'll be everything that you wish, like that gear list. If it had like sub chapters in a gear list, it's the stuff that you wish was in between the lines. So like, what ear pro do I bring? So I did an ear pro video of like, breaking down why you need ear pro and not just like telling people like, hey, just buy ear pro. That's easy, but like if you give a little bit of insight as to why certain ones work better than others, I think it helps people understand like, oh, well, yeah, I really should get a pair of electronic earmuffs versus like just a pair of foam plugs, or where things like these Axel like in-ear electronic earbuds come into play. Like, oh, well, I could get those, but honestly, they're not as good as having a pair of muffs.
Yeah.
Electronic muffs. So the next video I'm planning on doing a range bag video of like all the stuff in my range, like all the things that I wish somebody told me, like, hey, have that in your range bag, like electrolyte solution. Like that to me has saved my ass more times than I can imagine. If like, okay, I'm in a class and I'm fading quickly during the day, squeezing a bunch of that into a gallon jug of water can really like perk you up and like save you from crashing.
Probably way better than a Camelback enema.
Or put the electrolyte solution in the Camelback enema and then you're like go turbo mode.
Yeah, they should absorb better. I mean, we got a nurse in the chat. Like, yeah, she could pipe in with how well that would work.
A pizza nurse.
Yes. So RJ did ask a question, but before it scrolls off my screen of comments, how much walking is involved in this weekend study group, and will it be physically taxing? So the walking is about a mile into the woods and a mile out of the woods. And at the pause in the middle, there will be sawing, shoveling, and moving of earth. However, if you have a medical condition, not that I'm saying you do, but if you did and couldn't do the shoveling part, you could just be there to take in the ideas that we're going to discuss about why and how we're shoveling and not actually do the shoveling. I can't get you out of the walking part, though. There's nothing I can do there.
And based on that description, I'm just going to go ahead and probably blunt a lot of questions that are going to come your way. No, it's not a body disposal study group.
Oh, no, I ain't carrying a body a mile in the woods.
No.
Not in one piece, anyway.
That's what the sawing is for, obviously.
All right.
The way you describe that, you're like, there's going to be some digging and some sawing and some hiding and some...
Oh, yeah. That does sound a little sketchy.
Could be. We're going to go off into an unknown area where nobody knows where we are.
Yeah, whoops.
Yeah.
All right.
2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
All right, I caught up on the comments. So I got my little monitor like up, so it's just below the line of the camera. But I haven't been looking at it because I keep looking all the way down at my screen. This new setup, I have to work on it. It was study. So yeah, in the study group, for those RJ, in case you're wondering, we're going to make a observation post / listening post. So that's the point of the digging and moving of the earth and whatnot. And like, it's not really something that I know anybody that does a class about. So we figured we'd do it in a study group. All right, that was the only question that scrolled by that we needed to answer. We only got one question on the book faces about for the evening, the question and answer period.
Really?
Yeah, but the problem is the last few weeks I've been putting it up like Wednesday morning instead of like over the weekend. So if you're not on Bookface, you might not have time to even see the post where you can put the question.
Yeah. Where's TJ? He usually has like 5 questions every week.
I know. I talked to him yesterday, but maybe it was the day before. It was before I put the post up. He, by the way, has a new song on Bandcamp, cover of Mississippi Queen.
Yes.
I bought it.
It's pretty hard. I like it. He's actually the driving success of both of our channels. Most people don't realize.
It's the music.
Yeah, that's what draws everyone in.
Like, I guess I'll stay because he's got music at the end too.
Yeah. If only I could hear that riff one more time.
Yeah. The rumor is that he was going to turn my my intro bit into an entire song, and but I mean, I don't want to rush the guy. I don't pay him much.
Yeah. I gave him a sweatshirt.
I gave him a t-shirt. You paid a lot more than I did.
Yeah. Well, I kind of like the guy.
I paid exactly what he asked for.
He didn't ask me for anything.
No.
I was like, well, I have to outdo Gary.
Of course, because then that way, if there's ever any conflict in the future, he says, well, I'm going to hook Mike up because he pays better.
Oh, that's a good question from Reed up there, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
How necessary are the cameras and other gear for making decent quality content? I'm hoping I can get away with the iPhone 13 Pro. So actually, I just had this conversation with somebody else the other day, and bro, go for it. Like, what I will say is the lighting is probably way more important than the camera in making the video look good. Because if your camera's working really hard in a dark environment, it's always going to look grainy, and there's not going to be a lot of contrast and all that other stuff. But having some simple lighting setups, which I'd be happy to offer advice on, and recommended pieces of gear, because Gary got the same ones that I got, like little LED lighting panels, and it's hard to show right here, but it's like, oh, here, I could probably just take this little guy right here, and it's just it's like a 6x9 card size thing almost, that just sits on top of either a tripod or a little light stand or whatever, that helps kind of like fill some of the lighting in. So if I turn this off, you can see it's not adding a lot, but it's just adding in some kind of nice lighting. I got another one over here. So you got that, and then you got background lighting. Those are the things that really kind of up the production quality, but the camera doesn't matter, honestly. Like it helps, but it's not everything. The lighting's way more important than the camera. And the audio too.
I got to use I'm using my laptop's built-in microphone because I got a nice Rode microphone over there, and I somewhere around there I have a Samson lavalier mic that I could use, but they have a 1/8-inch tip ring sleeve plug on both of them for the microphone, and my laptop that I do these live shots from does not have an 1/8-inch input, so I had to buy a USB to 1/8-inch adapter, and the only one I could find that was tip ring sleeve instead of tip ring sleeve was this double one that is a microphone and headphones. So when I plug this into my computer says, "Oh, you have a microphone, we'll use it, and you have headphones. That's where we'll send the audio." So if I'm doing a live chat by myself, I can use this. But with Mike as a guest, when he talks, I can't hear him because it's trying to send all the audio out this, and I don't have anything to. And I was like, man, fucking, I had to do the same thing last weekend with Zach. So I'm just using the microphone built into my laptop.
Me too. I have the video coming from a really nice camera, which took way too long to figure out how to get it to work.
Well, amen.
and that going through the laptop, and all the sounds coming through just the laptop microphone, because it's just easier that way. And I find with most modern laptops, they all sound pretty good as long as you're in like a decently quiet environment. It seems like they figured that out once like the Wuhan hit, and they're like, hey, we need computers that actually sound good because people are going to be talking to each other on them a lot.
That's all that they're going to do for the next, well, if they'd had their way, it's all we do for the rest of our lives.
Where they don't work well is an environment where it's like in public. Like if you go to like a coffee house or something like that, you will hear everything because they're omnidirectional microphones meant to pick up your voice from any direction.
Yeah.
And you will hear every clanking of a dish and like, steaming of the milk. Like
a 15-year-old playing Fortcraft in the next room over.
Right.
I'd yell at him to shut up right before we started.
And the only other piece of equipment that I've been kind of recommending to a bunch of people, audio wise, so like the cameras, like an iPhone 13 should be good, and this thing works really well with that. This is the DJI microphone. This was recommended to me by Rick Takahashi and his production team, and I've been really impressed with it since then. It's a couple of let's see if I can. Oop. It's kind of like an iPhone Pro case where it's like a charging case, but inside is two receivers and two transmitters. So you plug these on to a person like a lav mic, and then a receiver unit, which you plug. It goes into any smartphone. It has an adapter for it. It has an iPhone adapter, and it has a regular tip ring sleeve or tip ring sleeve adapter that'll go into any other type of port. So
nice.
It's like it's super compact. Everything fits in this charging case.
You can plug an actual lav mic into that transmitter, can't you?
Correct. And I have one of those as well. Just if you want to hide it, because it is kind of stupid to see those little black boxes on people's shirts. But for I'm hoping to get a lot more interview type videos on my channel. I did one with Max already, by the way. You guys should all check that out. Did a couple of interviews together, and I want to incorporate device in because it makes it a lot easier for getting two people's voices to sound good together.
Yeah.
Instead of using like a shotgun mic on top of a camera.
Right.
Oh, we've received 100 messages today with Restream Chat.
Woohoo! Usually it takes. Now we're 47 minutes in. That's about usually when we hit 100.
You mean like wind chimes on a porch 100 feet away? Yes. Also, funny fact about me, for anybody interested, I fucking hate wind chimes.
That makes two of us.
Like, I find no redeeming value to wind chimes. Like, and I'm sure, knowing the types of groups of people that we hang out with, I'm just going to start receiving a shit ton of wind chimes now. Or like, actually, it would be really funny is if somebody like just started hanging them up clandestinely around my house.
Well, so my wife likes wind chimes, so there are some around my property here, my small postage stamp of property. But I may pick them up and carry them with me the next time I come to your house. Just leave them hanging outside somewhere.
Yeah. I just find them creepy. Like, there's not a lot of things I find just generally creepy, but wind chimes are one of those things that, like, it only adds to the creepy ambiance of any environment.
Yeah, I don't need it.
Of course, Crystal loves them. Well, we don't kink shame, Crystal.
Yeah, whatever you're into, dear. All right. So what else was I going to ask you about how Bulletin was doing? I guess what's the next video? How's it? You got any big name instructors in your sites that if they're listening, they should go sign up?
Oh shit! I mean, there is a list 100 miles long of instructors that I would just love to be a part of the site. Like I would love to go like there's a lot that I haven't gotten to train with yet, but your former employer, Tactical Response, is probably one of the ones that like has been like that would be a huge get for me just because they're the foundation of my training.
Yep.
And I'm a big fan of their curriculum. Craig Caudle is somebody that like I really want to get I really want to show that like Bulletin is not just a firearms training platform. I mean, that's where we all come from, right? But there's a lot of the ancillary stuff that I want Bulletin to be more than just the gun store, like the gun training. Like there's so many extra things, and Craig puts on an amazing outdoor school, and he does shooting stuff too. So I would love to get somebody like Craig on there, NC Scout at Brush Beater, and then because I think what would be really interesting to get trainers in like that are not just gun trainers. Like, would it be awesome to have like Chris Costa like on the site? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But like they don't need exposure to people in our circles. They're already giant names. So like I want to help trainers get exposed to more students, and especially really good ones like Craig or NC Scout or like some of those other trainers out there that like, okay, well, I know about them, but like sometimes it's hard for like and my friends know about them because I'm constantly like, hey, we should go down to Nature Reliance and go take a Craig Caudle class, or hey, who wants to hop in a car in July and go down to North Carolina in July? Like, also, by the way, if anybody else wants to hop in a car and go down to North Carolina in July, I am possibly open to doing so, to go take an NC Scout class or a brush beater class. But those are the types of people that I would just love to get on there. Like, hey, they have their circles, and those may not always be the same circles as like us, but the more we can get those connecting to each other, I think that'd be great. I mean, in the same breath, though, I am already just astounded at some of the people that have willingly joined the platform already. We've seen a few here, like Tom out in Washington. He's got awesome stuff going on, and like Praelectus, Ascending Variable. Like, there's a whole slew of schools in Tennessee that I've only met through doing bulletin, like personal survival solutions, combat arms training, Andrew Strimsick down in Florida. Like there's just people I've met now all across the country that I'm like, this is amazing. Like people are putting trust in the platform, and like they see some value in it, and that's just incredibly like exciting. And like I don't want to discount that, because like yes, it'd be great to get some different types of trainers on there as well to kind of expose people to it. But I do want to take a moment and say it's really an honor to have them on the platform too. Like everyone that's on there already.
Which brought me up to the thing you asked the other day, on the, was it Facebook? On the bulletin Facebook, what classes are people looking forward to taking this year?
I think I posted that this morning.
Really? Was it that? It seemed like it was days ago. I'm struggling to figure out what classes I want to take this year, because a couple that I had on my list, my bucket list, I got to get, that were non-shooting classes. In the last year and a half, I took those. And then this year I decided I want to minimize my amount of live fire. It's like, fuck, this would have been the year to take like the forward observer class and like all of Craig's shit. And
can you still hear me?
I can hear you, and your face has frozen.
Yeah, in the weirdest looking like pose ever.
Oh, that's of course that's what it's going to do.
Yeah. What the hell happened?
I don't know.
That's odd.
Well, we now are at the EOS webcam utility screen. For the longest time, that's all I could get out of this Canon was that screen. And I was like, that's it. Fuck it. I'm done. And I went and bought a GoPro 10 so that I didn't have to look at that screen. And then when you figured it out, I was like, fuck it. I guess I got to figure it out too.
I thought everything was all hunky-dory, but apparently I have a backup plan in case that doesn't work. So,
well, it's all right. While you're working on it, I'll talk. Because I can answer the one question, and you can't. So, well, you probably could because I told you about it. But the only question that I got was, well, it was a two-part question. Where are you traveling to teach in the South, and when are you coming to Tennessee? And the answer is Florida and Tennessee, and they will be on back-to-back weekends in September. So the Florida class that we've talked about before was September 22nd, 23rd in Leesburg. And now it is confirmed Enville, Tennessee, September 30th and October 1st. Enville is about an hour south of Camden. And I don't know what we're doing yet because this just got confirmed, the dates and the location yesterday. So at the TFI Academy, which is Keith Tyler, he's a USPSA Grand Dragon kind of guy, but he also spent 20 years as a cop. So he's got his foot in like two different worlds. But the range that he just got built, it's, I didn't even ask the size because I've seen pictures of it. That's loud.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all right. But he's got like 350 degrees of shootable berm. So that's pretty awesome. And there's no noise ordinances in his county. So that leaves night shooting open. And
oh, hell yeah.
And for the students that might want to come to Enville, Tennessee and take a class, there are no range fees for this class. So that is pretty cool. And that Keith does some private coaching and some pistol training there. And he is going to be in whatever class I teach, he's going to be in it. So it'll give you a chance to, on the line, see how awesome of a shooter he is, and maybe decide that he's someone you'd like to visit more frequently to get better at the shooty stuff.
That's awesome. I like Keith.
Yes, and he happens to also be an adjunct instructor for SIG, teaching armorers classes, which is where we met Keith at. What's that button do?
Oh, new comments will display here.
Oh, I usually have that turned on, but there's a little tab that I hadn't clicked. And
oh, wow. Yeah, nobody's probably seen any of the comments from any of the other platforms tonight.
Yep. If you're on YouTube, you see the YouTube, and if you're on Facebook, you see the Facebook. And then you're rebroadcasting on both of your channels, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
So
I was finally allowed to live stream on YouTube because now I have enough history, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't. There's stuff. I don't know what they after I was already doing it, they started putting thresholds in, and I was like, wait, do I have to go meet these thresholds? But I kind of got grandfathered in that like even for like monetization. When I monetized my channel, you had to have like fucking 20 subscribers. And then all of a sudden it was X number of subscribers with X number of minutes viewed in the last so many months. And I was like, shit, I don't know if I have that. And they said, but if you already are monetized, you're in regardless. And so I was a little concerned. And it turns out I made it because I went and looked anyhow to see if I made the cutoff. But there's a band I listen to out of the Faroese Islands called Tyr, like the Viking god of war. And they did not have enough minutes watched. So I went to their channel and clicked the play all playlist, put it on repeat, and went to work every day for like a week. So I was running up their minutes for them.
That's awesome. Just break the algorithm.
Adam, I do not believe it was called anything before, because Keith was showing me pictures of his property last year, and there was trees on it. Like there wasn't a range at all, so probably not the same place.
Later, Max.
It was a pleasure having you over here, sir.
Wife is calling, not cashing.
I was like, I don't know what that means, and I'm not. We don't kink shame here, so whatever you're into, man.
She's caching something in him.
Be good at it, whatever it is you're doing.
Oh, before while I was messing around with cameras and stuff, William Lee made a comment of he wants to really take ECQC with Craig Douglas. Me too. As a matter of fact, there's another person on this live stream that I was supposed to take that class with a few years ago. And then I was a terrible student. And when he said he wasn't going, I said, I guess I won't go. And that was a huge, huge mistake. And by on this live stream, I mean on camera on this live stream, not
I still have a slot to catch up on that class, and we hosted him for that, and now I don't have somewhere to host him. So, and getting on his schedule is tough.
Yeah,
it is tough.
But that's like if there's specific classes that are on my list, easily top 3 is ECQC.
It's funny because Craig I've heard him say the word, mention, I'm going to say the words, but mention it like the shooting portion is in there to lure people to come to class. And I'm over here going, man, I wish there wasn't a shooting portion in it, because I'm trying to limit the amount of shooting that I do this year. Well, you know what? I could shoot it with all UTM.
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing.
Still a Glock 19. It makes a kapow noise.
Just bring a Blackbeard or your cert gun.
Oh yeah, I'll do it with the cert gun. I mean, I'll just do it with the blue gun.
Right.
Kapow, kapow, kapow.
Bang, bang, bang. Yeah. So when some other things we can mention too, because I, along with chatting with you all the time about training, and I get to chat about training with a whole bunch of other people too. And he just left, but Max and I are actually trying to get Evan from Radio Made Easy up to the Pennsylvania area as well.
Mhm.
Radio being one of um, the kind of close subjects to my heart. I was super excited when I found out Evan was starting his own business and doing training for radio stuff. So that's one of the things that we're looking to get up here too. And luckily, radio doesn't require a range. So
It does not. Is it a multi-day thing that he does, or single days,
I
or
think he does a single day.
because if that was on a Sunday, we also have a venue we could probably schmooze for free.
Yes, and I saw the purveyor of said venue on here earlier, but I don't know if he's still here.
Oh, he's not hanging around for that long of a chat. That was
Yeah,
like 40 minutes ago.
yeah,
There's some fun stuff to do somewhere.
yeah. There's the deer to hang and some beer to drink. But yeah, so one of those things that we're definitely trying to get up to the area is one of Evan's classes, and you know, by all accounts, he seems to does some good teaching.
Which is awesome.
Oh, okay, Adam. The one this month is 2 days. Good. Okay, yeah. I think I couldn't remember if his 0 to hero class was a 1 day or a 2 day thing.
And it's not like we don't have other options that we know of that we could do for 2 days. Just the free one we can only do on Sunday.
Right. Well, there's other free options too, because some of us have houses that can probably host a class.
Yeah, I probably would never do that, regardless of how much space I had
Yeah,
at my house,
true.
unless it was completely private and everyone signed up through me. So, like, if you've
Yeah.
already been to my house, you can sign up. I'd
Yeah.
be a little hesitant to let, especially because I'm always, how at class every class, like, which one of you motherfuckers is the Fed? Well, I'm letting one in my house to come to some other dude's class.
Right. Yeah. So but we also had, I mean, like, we had that class in public lands that was
Yeah,
that worked out pretty well, like our GPS class. So
yeah, that worked out great. I mean, we did get kicked out of the pavilion we were using, but
yeah. Well, somebody showed up who paid for it. So hey, you could have this.
fine, we'll just go in the woods.
Yeah. Adam says it seems like one day's classroom, the other day is the field practicing all. Yeah, which is actually, like, I've talked to Evan about it, and this is what's so interesting about, like, and why I'm, like, super excited about what he's doing, is because we both started doing the same thing, granted in different places and at different times, but we both saw the same need. Like, nobody's teaching this radio shit. And he developed a class, and, like, I developed a class, and the funny part is we have a lot of similarities between both of those, in the sense that he wanted to do a classroom portion and a practical, and when we made ours, it was, well, we need to have a classroom portion and a practical, because
Yeah,
nobody was doing practical radio use. And yeah, it's fun. I'm really interested to see people kind of developing this type of stuff, like, everywhere. Like, oh,
agreed.
there's a hole in the market, and, like, there's a class that isn't like, knowledge gap, and I want to fill it. And that's, I mean,
I like that way better than, well, I want to teach stuff. I'm going to teach a class. Like, people are like, class A, B, and C. So I will teach those two. When I think it's better to go, oh, but nobody teaches Q. I'm going to develop a Q.
Yeah, a Q course.
Yes. Ooh. And, like, I fell into the same trap as most everybody else. Like, oh, well, you got to have a pistol class. First class I ever taught was pistol class. Like, well, got to have a rifle class. So next class was a rifle class. And then, oh, somebody needs to teach a bug out class. And, like, to this day, not a lot of people do those. So I found my cue early.
Mm-hmm. Yep. For me, it was radio.
And then, although like the one I like the most, like the class the curriculum I wrote that I feel the best about is the diagnostics class. Not that people haven't done force on force, obviously. They just don't do force on force like that. And I think that's of the creative things that I've put together, that's the one I think has the most value and isn't done by anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the most fun to watch students beat themselves up with it.
Yeah, you have a good number of classes where people beat themselves up over.
This is going to be hard, and I will giggle while you do it.
William Lee, yes, you absolutely do need to do force on force. It is, it is essential to a well-rounded student.
Yes, I would say once you understand the mechanics of making the tool do, like I can put the holes in the brown thing, that's a cardboard target, where I want. At that point, it should be as much force on force as you can do with some live fire as like like salt to a dish. Like, oh, I'll add a little bit of it here.
Yeah.
But the meat and potatoes should be force on force.
And we've
the
seen
downside to it is it's hard to make that happen.
Yeah. And we've seen somebody do the other way, where I think maybe one or two students we've seen come through Tremis classes where their first class ever was force on force.
Yep.
And you can see like just like it's a pretty humbling experience to do force on force even after you've done a bunch of other classes, but at least you have some sort of mechanics to fall back to. And when somebody who hasn't taken any type of training before, that doesn't really have any type of, like, I'll call it a foundational skill set, that you could just see all hope drain from their face, because they don't have anything to, like, their mental Rolodex is just spinning. There's nothing for it to land on. And but I mean, it has been very impactful for the people that we saw come through it. It does give them a thing going, oh my God, I really need to learn other things.
Yeah, those are the ones that before class is over are like, all right, can I just pay you now for the next pistol class? Sure.
But at the same time, it's also a risk because somebody could take that type of training and then have a bad reaction to it as well.
Yeah, and depending what type of force on force you're doing, like if it is scenario based, like that comes down to having good role players that are their ability to alter their direction based off of what the student feedback is, so that they don't make it a bad experience for them, or they're trying to minimize it, making it a bad experience. And then if it's like in the diagnostics class, unfortunately, I think what that does is ruins everybody's 2-day pistol class, because people go take it and go, yeah, that's a bunch of bullshit too.
It's true. Like the bucking of dogma is like a strong theme.
It's so hard. It's so hard to get rid of dogma and like close the book of doctrine and put a padlock on it. It's tough.
Hey, TJ made it.
Hey, we were talking about him earlier.
We sure were. Just like most live streams where we get together.
Yeah, we were even pimping his products.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's got a new song that you can buy, and we talked about it, and he wasn't even here to say, man, thanks, guys.
Adam, yeah, diagnostics class is it's fun. Like it's hard to explain because it's force on force, but not in the way that most of us were exposed to it, like the first, like the fight, or dynamic force on force, or any of those other types of like scenario based trainings. It's just really interesting to take the flat range tactics and see how, like, we practice those all the time, but like, what are we actually practicing here? How is that going to translate into fighting? So it's kind of like a whole nother another lens to look at it all through.
Yeah.
The first time you ever told me about that class, I'm like, that sounds silly. We're gonna do the stuff that we do on the range, but with airsoft and with another person pointing things back at us doing the same thing. That just sounds. What is anybody gonna learn from? And then I went through it several times and was like, this is crazy. Like there's a lot of learning points in that.
Yep.
And Blood in the Water is one of the best names for a drill ever.
Yeah, and very fitting to that particular drill.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to have a drill in like every class where people are like, oh, that one, like fuck me running, or the motherfucker, or blood in the water, obviously, blunder burpees. Like each class, I try to get something where people are like, that one. I don't have to do that one again, do I? I should do a class, like a workshop, where it's just that drill from every class back to back.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. That could be a study group one day. Like if we ever do a live fire study group again, it's just the hard stuff.
The hard stuff. And if we figure out a way to score everything, time it, accuracy, whatever, I could give one of the brand new challenge coins to the winner.
Oh. Did you even show one yet? Or has anybody seen them?
I showed the mock-up last week.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep. And for those that didn't see it, I will punch up the front mock-up right now. That's what the front of the challenge coin looks like. I do not have the back picture on this laptop. It's on my desktop in my office. How the hell do I close that? Oh, there we go. But I got shipping notification today. So,
ooh, what color did you go with? Silver?
Silver, yeah, antique silver.
Oh, that's sweet. What you should do is you should make people shoot the coin, but they only get to keep it if they don't make a mark in it.
Right, they got to hit the little bottle opener.
Yeah, you got to get it right through the bottle opener.
And if you hit any part of the metal, you have to buy the coin and you don't get to keep it.
Yeah.
Because they're not cheap like dog tags.
No.
And they're individually numbered. So like they're coming, like there will be one number 1 coin and there'll be one number 2 coin, et cetera, et cetera.
Is there going to be a number 2-5 coin?
There is a 2-5 coin. I'll probably keep that one.
Yeah, I figured.
I got 50 to start with. And I think I have 5, 6, 7, about 11 spoken for that people have earned through being awesome for Tremis Dynamics. Not like awesome to me, but have made their influence has shaped the company. And then I'm going to give one out to everybody that successfully completes a master class. Every time I do one of those, the current master class, not the old master class, which is just day 3 pistol. And then anything else that sounds like a good reason to give out a coin. I just have to wait and figure out what those reasons are.
Now, are we planning a master class for Pennsylvania this year?
No, because there is night shooting in it, and I don't have a viable range to do a bunch of stuff in the dark.
That sucks.
I could do one in Tennessee. Enville has night shooting available.
I mean, there's ranges in West Virginia that do night shooting.
There is one that I know of that is retardedly expensive.
Yes. But there's a lot of land out there. So I'm sure there's other ranges too.
I could probably just pick some BLM land anywhere out west and do a class.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking more for, the people that are, in our area.
Oh, well, if one of them would pony up a place to do some night shooting at. Well, and if one of them did, they automatically get a challenge coins because I will give one to every host.
Man, if somebody found me a range that we could do night shooting at in the eastern Pennsylvania area, I will give them a black bulletin hat on the spot.
Oh.
And those only go to certain people.
I'm going to wear my black bulletin hat and my red Definitive Training Solutions dog tag. And
And carry your ascending variable challenge coin.
Yes, in one hand, and my numbered number 1 Tremis Dynamics challenge coin in the other hand.
And walk around like a stupid divining rod. Somewhere I'll find a range. Oh, that's right. Yeah. TJ has a spot out there that does night shooting. The problem is that it's in Connecticut and nobody's ever going to go there.
Yeah.
Also, you have to drive through even shittier states to get there.
Yeah, it's what's between here and there I'm not interested in.
Yeah. Although we did night shooting. I might have a contact. We'll talk.
All right, awesome. That's what I like to hear.
See what we can do.
Oh, Will says the motherfucker sucks. Jeff does not like the motherfucker. Symphony of Destruction is pretty badass.
I think Fuck Me Running is to me the winner out of all the unique Tremis drills. I mean, of course, the Viceroy is pretty good too, but Fuck Me Running is the one where it's like, that's so intimidating, and it's less intimidating each time you do it, but it's still intimidating every time. You're like,
oh yeah, I've done it. Well, before it went into class, I did it a few times, and I don't ever want to do it again. It's not pleasant.
no.
There's no pleasant part about it. It's a little painful. It hurts the ego.
But it does give a beneficial, it does give a training benefit. Like, I've done it probably twice, maybe 3 times, and once you get past the mental barrier, it's like that's the learning from it, is like, oh, the lead up to it is way worse than the actual doing it. Because once you do it and you get some of the mechanics down and some tips and techniques of, like, some gross motor movement, because your hands are going to turn into flippers.
Yeah.
It gets doable, and then it's just practice.
We did not do the Viceroy at Dynamic Carbine. Have we ever done that even at a study group with carbines?
I think we did once, but it was rough because we just didn't have a lot of range.
Oh, didn't we do it as the motherfucking Viceroy?
We did. Yeah. We combined the two together at the long range in Lebanon.
Yeah.
The 100-yard range.
Yeah. Because with carbines, we couldn't make it hard enough just doing a regular Viceroy.
Yeah. It's stupid easy. You'll never have any misses.
Yeah. It's way better with pistols. And I think everyone should do it with a 6-round Ruger LCP.
With no reload.
And no reload.
TJ, have you've never done the Viceroy? Huh. That was a good spontaneous study group drill that just came up one day, like years ago, where it was like, what should we do? Oh, well, let's go head to head and do some moving and shooting at the same time. And it worked.
I remember thinking, well, you only need like 5 rounds. This should be easy.
Yeah.
Now you can do it in like 5 rounds, but there were people who went through like 3 20-round magazines and then ran back to their ammo can and were stuffing magazines while the other guy was still shooting.
And it's one of those things where it's like, if you're just having a bad day, it gets worse.
Yep.
If you don't calm yourself down and just make those hits, it just quicksands to all hell. I mean, like, I think the first time we ever did it, I shot it clean. And I was like, oh, I got this.
Yeah.
And then like, there have been times where I'm the guy that's like, well, I've run out of all the bullets in all 3 of my magazines that I had on me. I guess I'm going to go run back to the table and load magazines while this other person's shooting and missing. And then it gets really exciting to have
as you pass him coming back from stuffing magazines as he's on the way to go stuff some magazines. Yeah, RJ, I don't think I've ever done a Viceroy in a class, and mostly because it's competitive and fun, uh, and I not that I don't want to have fun drills in class, but I try not to do a whole lot of competitive ones, like one per day, and then give a winter patch for it. Uh, but it would be great for like if there was like a pistol drills workshop, that would be a perfect drill to put in there.
Yeah, because it's a good one that you could even do timing yourself too.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of like it's 50 yards, up to 50 yards, or no, it's a minimum of 50 yards movement, and
it's usually a lot more.
yeah, it winds up being a lot more. And depending on how fast you move and how many hits you make, the time is a good thing to track over,
Yeah.
you know, over movement.
But you know what we need to do? And next time we're together, we can film a video about doing it, uh, how the drill's put together, and we can go film like running through it
Yeah.
and throw it up on the video channels.
Yes.
I have a series called the Drill Box, which I haven't put anything in a while. That was just about like, hey, here's a drill you could do that you may not know, which doesn't have like the normal shit like the El Presidente or a bill drill or whatever. Although I do have an idea for an El Presidente video that will be awesome. It will be glorious in all of its gloriousness.
And I assume it's going to involve airsoft
UTM.
or UTM. Oh, even better.
All right. Well, we are at like an hour and 16 minutes.
Not
Always a
surprising.
pleasure.
This is what happens every time I come on your show.
Yep. Or when you come over to the house. Like
True.
at some point you're making the 11:30 text. Hey, I'm just gonna crash at Gary's house because it's late.
Yeah. So what's the recap?
Bulletin's doing well.
Check out the YouTube channel.
Yes, definitely check out the YouTube channel. Hell, I just put a video out too. Like
You
that's
did.
rare. Yeah, the target stands for the for fish.
Yep.
The just finally made that live. It was on Patreon for a week or so.
Oh yeah. I'm like, I saw you do that. I'm like, man, I saw those target stands in like December.
Oh yeah, the video was filmed in November, like
Yeah.
the end of November. It just took me forever to get around to getting it up.
Yep.
And then it was on Patreon only for a little while because they get dibsies on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So recap, check out the video, the Bulletin YouTube channel or Rumble channel or both. Going to Tennessee in end of September, beginning of October.
You can check out the classes on Bulletin and on Tremis Dynamics.
Yes, I have not put the Tennessee class on Bulletin yet because, well, it's not on Tremis Dynamics yet either. I don't know what the hell we're doing.
Yeah.
But it's going to be 2 days of something in Enville, Tennessee. And not this coming weekend, not like 3 days from now, but the following weekend, Paducah, Texas, Dynamic Carbine. There are spots available if people want to come. And if not, fuck them.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. And if you've already had Dynamic Carbine, there's a coupon code. I really need to let alumni know about that so that you can get $50 a day off. So for a 2-day class, you could save $100 if you've already taken that class before.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of coupon codes too.
Oh yeah.
Or anybody that wants to take a day zero class, and if you're interested in getting a New Jersey CCW qualification at that day zero class, there is a coupon code Bulletin for a free New Jersey qualification on the day zero classes. So
saves like $40.
Yeah, $40.
Used to only save you $20, but there's so much work going into that, the price went up to add the qualification on.
Oh, nice. Trying to get 2 to day 2. Thanks, Jeff. Or 2 to day 0, I should say.
Yeah. And he may be there. I don't even know what state Jeff's currently in. So
state of denial.
Confusion, state of misery.
Yeah. Low
All right,
minus.
so that's the recap. It wasn't a whole lot of recap.
Yep. Awesome.
All right, so I guess we're gonna pop smoke and call for a hot exfil, and everybody be safe out there. I cannot promise there'll be a live chat next week. It depends if I leave for Texas on Tuesday or Wednesday. If it's Wednesday, probably not, because when the live chat would happen, I'll probably be somewhere around the eastern to mid Tennessee area where I plan to spend the night and still be driving. So if I leave Tuesday, I'll give you a Wednesday one. If I leave Wednesday, you won't get one till the following Wednesday.
Awesome.
Cool beans. You all take it easy out there.
Later, guys.